Hello. It's starting to get warm this time of year already. Me coming from Eastern Canada, I'm used to a moderate temperature, so the summers can be a bit difficult for me. The hot, dry days I do enjoy, but it's the humidity that really becomes difficult. And this becomes difficult for me, but it can also make living in Korea in our apartments and things a little bit more difficult. One of the biggest issues that we can have is to do with mold. Um, Mold really needs moisture to begin, so it's really important to keep your apartments dry, wiping things down. The bathrooms tend to be really problematic with poor ventilation, so it's good to use a squeegee maybe to get rid of some of the excess water and try to dry that out with a fan. Um, the other thing you'll see Koreans do is open their front door and also the veranda. And the buildings are all often designed in a way where it's just one unit, so they can do that and they get good air circulation between the two windows when the breeze is right. And you'll see Koreans with their windows and front doors open quite often doing this, and it's a preventive measure that they're doing because they're used to the climate. It's something they have come to live with, and the apartments were traditionally even designed in this way because of the climate. Maybe a little bit of the materials that they use to build might not be the best for preventing humidity, and sometimes the shoddy kind of workmanship. When we look around the windows and see cracks and things like this, obviously you're going to have problems with moistures with something like that. And we tend to live in the lower kind of end of the apartment spectrum where they're a lot cheaper and may not be built with better materials for us, unfortunately. So open things up, let that improve the air circulation, and that will help prevent humidity, mold, by preventing the humidity. You can also turn on fans and let that circulate through your apartment to help also. If you're a lucky one, you can check your air conditioner. You may actually have a dehumidification function on your air conditioner, and that is JSUP. Usually look for JSUP. Okay, I'll post that. But if you have that, you can press that, and that is actually dehumidifying your apartment. Even the use of the aircon with the cold dryness can help with it a lot. You can buy portable dehumidifiers, so these smaller plug-in versions. They can be a little bit expensive on electricity sometimes, but they're called JSUPKI. JSUPKI. So these can easily be found at your larger marts like your E-marts, Lotte Marts, Home Pluses, or the larger electronic marts, and can also be found online, of course. Some can be rather expensive, so if you're here for a year, maybe two, it's understandable that you might not want to invest in one of these. But if you're going to be here for a prolonged period, or you're expecting here to be for a number of years, it may be something you want to use because it's useful in the summer, but because of the laundry situation here, most of us do not have dryers, and using the dehumidifier when we are hanging our clothes in the house can be a quick way to dry it and to keep our house from getting moisture and mold again. So these portable dehumidifiers can be a good investment if you're going to be here for a while. They're easy to be found, but can be a little bit pricey. You can also buy these smaller disposable dehumidifiers called J. So they look something like this. They're little containers with little chemical balls that suck the moisture out of the air. You can find these at any mart, even the smaller ones. It doesn't have to be the larger ones. They're pretty common this time of year, and pretty much any time of year. These can be placed throughout your apartment, especially in problem areas, behind wardrobes and corners. It would be wise to even put some in your wardrobes, and if you have any suitcases that you have lying around, because I've had several teachers who have complained about having clothes ruined because of mold that was left untreated. So we really need to take preventive measures here. You can even buy hanging ones that you can hang up in your wardrobe, and that will help protect your clothes. Okay. If you currently have mold, it is best to clean it immediately before it spreads. You can buy special cleaners at any mart usually, and definitely online. You can also make a simple solution of bleach and water, or if you prefer chemical free, you can use some vinegar, baking soda, and water. You use this to scrub any mold, and this will help get rid of it and prevent it. Then dry it so it can't restart and spread. It's important to keep it dry. It's a good practice to open your windows, wear gloves and a mask when you're doing this, because you can get mold spores and you inhale them, and that can make you sick. So you want to avoid that. So with some preventive measures, you can really work to prevent mold. But if you don't do anything, you can probably expect to get mold. You need to think about this now and get ready for the summer and prepare to prevent it from happening, because once it starts, it gets more difficult to deal with. Anyway, I hope that helps you, and hope you kind of will think about that, so it can help make your summer a little bit more bearable, at least in not having to deal with a situation which is unpleasant.